hear the baby in the background.
Ooh, a Scots Queen. That sounds fantastic. I have.
Oh, it's definitely not one.
Nah, not a cult, not a cult.
Not a cult. Never a cult. Cult vibes.
Clearly, it's not a cult because the name of this is not a cult.
Yeah. Also, happy Mother's Day to everyone who's a mama in any sort of way. Dog mom, any kind of mom, you all qualify.
Happy Mother's Day round two to those in the UK
Yep.
and anywhere else that they already had Mother's Day.
It,
No, no, definitely not a cult.
no, it's
Yes,
a
it is
Mother's Day
Mother's
for
Day in
everyone.
America, but
Yeah.
Mother's Day for everyone. Happy Mother's Day because y'all deserve it every day.
Oh, that's right. There's so many new faces and I love it.
I love watching the like who's typing and it'll switch to like several people are typing, multiple people are typing.
Yeah. And it changes so fast.
All the typing for real. Lawful waffle, you can be a mother if you want to be a mother.
You can be whatever you want to be here.
Sav and his dancing cats. Crazy. I mean, there are some men that act as mothers. So you could be a mother. It's all good.
There's so many things. Oh, hold.
The other side is one female dev and one male dev. They will be joining very shortly. And then they're going to take over. Miranda and I are just the mods.
Yeah. We're just part of the mod team here. We're the ones that get to do the not so fun work.
We get to yell at you guys when you're doing crazy stuff. Yeah, I just work here.
Yeah, I just work here. Let me tell you, the last week has been an insane
Yeah.
week for the mod team. It's been a lot. Mother Miranda Defos.
I've been
Listen,
constantly on Discord, chronically online.
listen, Queen. I tend to go in mother mode a lot for a lot of people. That's why I was adapted as Mother Miranda.
Yeah, Mother Miranda, real.
The bosses start talking in
In
about
approximately 3 minutes.
3. The meeting just we started at 10 minutes early to give people time to come in, hang out, get comfortable. make sure they're in and can hear before they start the talking at 3 where they can hear all the important stuff.
The waiting patiently is so real.
Trust me, I get it, because like, I feel like if we just leave you here with silence, it's just so I try to live up to
Yeah,
my
Miranda
nickname.
and
I
I
got
just have to awkwardly talk to you guys.
yeah. This is the last meeting is actually where the Yapranda came into play, and the community was like, "Yeah, that's your nickname.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
Yapranda now."
that is true. Yeah, probably would be chaos in chat.
I mean, it's already
For real,
kinda
for real.
there, but I've been watching for the hands to raise, and I haven't seen anything, so I don't
Yeah,
think they're here yet.
I haven't seen them pop in yet either.
Watch them not be able to get in. That'd be chaotic.
Last time they, like, came in and just sat there for, like, a hot minute, and I was like,
Yeah.
y'all wanna talk?"
They just let us fill the silence even
Or
longer.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes
"Hello,
G can't get
hello."
it to work, so we'll see what happens.
Babe, you
It
might
will
need to
just
just,
tell
like,
us you have us
leave.
muted.
Sometimes you have to, like, leave and rejoin and it works and fixes itself. We had that issue the first time.
Not definitely not a cult. Y'all aren't
Oh,
helping the
no,
not a cult allegations.
not at all. Oh, no, it's after this, I really want a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Sounds so bomb.
That does sound really good. I'm so full from lunch, though.
Nope.
Than.
Alright,
I think it's
everyone.
so funny that I have to
Zombie Dog is
request to
here.
speak.
You
I
can
have to
I
ask
think
you
you
guys
can just
permission.
put yourself on the stage, I just don't think
I tried
you
I tried to drag myself, it said, "Absolutely not." That you need to raise your hand.
Alright, guys, I'm done yapping. Here is the real show.
Hi,
Hi,
guys.
everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Than is a mod now, yes. Than was promoted to mod, this morning with the influx of not only players, but Discord members. As you guys have probably noticed, it's been pretty chaotic in here. That having been said, we did reach multiple new player high counts in the last like 48 hours. We've reached well over 500 players like at one time, which is crazy. So we did want to start before we get into like all the Q&A stuff. We wanted to thank everybody, our moderators, the community, especially those of you who have been here for a hot minute. We noticed that throughout the last week, you guys have been so incredibly on this Discord with like the trainer help. The moderators have been working literally 24/7. Like mind you, like we don't pay, we don't pay these guys. They're just amazing, like absolutely amazing. Um, and then like the trainers over in trainer help, and then people who aren't even trainers have been over in trainer help. And we've gotten a lot of comments in game when we were doing the dev lobbies about how helpful and how friendly our community is. And people were like flabbergasted when they were joining public lobbies and everyone was so nice. And we're like, yeah, our community is like ridiculously nice. So I want to say Twitch content. Yeah, for real. All of them are just absolutely amazing. So super excited to talk to you guys about everything that's coming up. Why is Devote gone?
His Discord
You
was
have to
bugged, he
be
couldn't
here.
hear, so he had to leave and come
Gosh
back.
darn it. Oh,
I
okay. He's in
listen,
the
to be
audience again. We bring him up because I don't know how to mod.
he's gotta raise his hand
Um,
again.
David, raise your hand. So yeah, all of that being said, again, just want to thank everyone. It's been a wild week and you guys have been more than patient with us, more than understanding with us. I mean, it's really just the two of us doing anything with the game. So, um, this has been like a wild week. We just really appreciate everyone. I am waiting for him to nope, there he goes. He's gone again. Jeez. I guess I'll just get started while he while he figures this out, right?
I
Like,
just
I
wanna
don't know.
start this by saying we kind of called this happening. I was like, "I guarantee you something happens and it bugs for one of them."
Mine always works. It's D's every single time.
Yeah, Lissa
So,
literally was like, "What if D can't hear again?" Crazy.
it's literally every time. So hold first and foremost, I guess I'm just gonna jump right into the things that are being discussed over in our uh Sunday post that I made over in discussions for Sunday stage meeting. A couple of things that we can address really quick before he comes back. Someone had asked, do you plan on implementing any sort of equipment progression or gameplay incentive to work towards? The answer to that is we absolutely plan to implement everything mentioned. Achievements, progressions, all of that. And we've even discussed implementing what we're going to call seasons for right now until we figure out what we actually want to call them. It's going to be a situation where every 4 to 6-ish weeks, players will have a chance to earn a whole slew of new cosmetics, experience, and more. This will include a rolling leaderboard tied to those seasons because we do know that right now our leaderboard that shows like Nina at level 2200 and people are like, I'm never catching up to that. So with the introduction of seasons will come the leaderboard that will have a rolling feature on it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not streaming this yet. Everybody pause. Nobody move. I'm supposed to be streaming this so that people can watch it later. I'm the worst.
D, can you hear now?
Oh my gosh, he's the worst. I'm gonna go ahead and say that means no. Oh man. Anyone who cannot hear needs to reset Discord. Um, apparently we have a couple people in audience who can't hear either. Like Quibble can't hear right now. Hold. He goes, I already did. As I'm talking to Quib. He goes, I already did. That's so great. Guys, pause for 1 second. I'm so sorry. The leaderboard pressure was wild. Yeah. Yeah. We figured that pretty quickly. Especially during events and stuff, it's really fun to have the leaderboard up where it's at because obviously like people love that competition aspect of it, which is fun. So we wanted to find a way to make it just a little more user friendly for those who are just joining in because we don't want it to be like discouraging to see the leaderboard. You know, we want it to be a situation where you want to try to get on the leaderboard. And we know that right now, with how high of levels some people are, it's like impossible. Like I think even I am only level like I think I'm like ranking like 30 or something on the leaderboard right now because you guys are animals. Um, so hold, I'm just going to start this up over on Twitch so that we can have a recording of it for those who weren't able to be here because I know that that was something people were asking about. So let's get that going. If you guys do have any questions that you have not already asked, if you jump over into discussions where it says Sunday meeting questions, that's a really good place to put them right now so they don't get lost over in chat because they will get lost over in chat. Okay, I'm accepting that he is not going to be able to see this and I'm just, or like speak. So I'm just going to do it, I guess, even though we agreed I wasn't going to do this time. Okay, I'm jumping back into it. So yeah, one of the first questions was the implementing some sort of progression system incentive. We will be doing all of those as we said already. We want to do like seasons where players are able to earn cosmetics, XP, things like that, and then every season it'll give you guys a new opportunity to get like more different cosmetics that are more like themed for seasons. Think of it like a battle pass but without being a battle pass, right? um To get ahead of some of these questions, there'll be no microtransactions for it. That's not something we're looking to do. It'll be just in-game currency the whole way through. Um, Someone asked, "Do we take ideas for ghost events or curses from Hangman for the Hangman cards?" The answer is yes, we do. We do. We take suggestions for just about everything, and that includes obviously things like that. Someone asked about Steam Workshop. So that's a tough one. Steam Workshop or those mods in general, like, aren't completely off the table, right? The problem is it's something that would have to be done way later. Since we do intend on having cross-platform available and consoles can't handle mods in the same way that like a computer can. So we need to make sure that we're implementing it the right way at the right time and not breaking anything that we don't intend to break. Fog, I hate Devo. He is ruining everything. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Um, Oh, this is a really good one. Someone asked, "Will there be a way to auto sort your storage chest?" The answer is yes. We plan to implement this along with preset loadouts in a general quality of life update. We don't have an exact date for that just yet, but if you keep an eye on our Trello, we do keep that up to date. We will drop the link to the Trello in the chat in just a little bit here. Um, and then a couple of things we want to touch base on real quick: controller support. Everyone's asking about controller support. We understand that controller support is something the community really wants, and it's again something that we are working on. Controller support will be following the progression update when the progression update's done. So controller is going to be something that we implement basically when we're looking at console release. The reason for that being, for us to have a native controller support, we have to basically do an entire UI overhaul, which is what we've been doing little by little. If you guys remember, we have talked about how we're doing the custom difficulties, and with the custom difficulties is coming like a laptop UI overhaul that's going to be more controller friendly. You can play with controller as is, you just have to map it through Steam first. One of our content creators, Sav, does help out a lot of people with mapping their controllers, and he's always down to help out. As much as I bully him, he's super helpful with things like that. All throughout these updates, we will be having maps that come out. We're going to be focusing primarily on smaller locations. We got all the big ones out of the way that we want to do. So now the next few are going to be like Ravenwood size, Cedar size, things that are built for like 1 to 3 to 4 players, and as well as sprinkling in new equipment. So one thing that you guys already kind of may or may not know about is we do have wireless video camera coming in the next couple of weeks. This is going to come out following the custom difficulties. So we're going to be rolling out custom difficulties here in the next probably 2-ish weeks, give or take. Don't quote us, but sooner than later. This is going to be a major update for us, and it's going to add a lot of replayability. It's a very important update for us, and we know that, so we don't want to mess it up. If you know, you know. Um, with the custom difficulty update, it's going to have a lot of different modifiers. We're very excited for that. Following the custom difficulty update with the laptop UI overhaul, we're also introducing 7 new ghosts. These ghosts are also coming with the implementation of ghost orbs and a new equipment, which is going to be the wireless camcorder. Um, the wireless camcorder is going to be viewable through your cell phone as well as the laptop in your like vehicle, or like outside your vehicle if you're using the truck. Now, someone asked right before we started, someone said, "Can we take away the ability to open doors when players are dead?" And initially I said, "No." But then Devote said, "Yes." And I don't disagree. So what we're going to do, and this is not going to happen right away. This will be down the line. But by default, dead players will be allowed to troll and open and close doors. However, the server host will be able to disable it. By default, it will be enabled. Players will be able to troll. The server host will be able to disable it. The reason being, if you are in a public lobby and you have a troll who is just trying to get you killed, it might be nice for the player host to be like, you know what, I don't want people to be able to do this. So, because here's the thing, right? Um, how many times have we seen Devo get me killed opening a freaking door? Like, anytime I play with him, disabled. Disabled. So, done. Um, let me see. We have it is a good compromise. I think that's like one of the best ways that we could go about doing it. Fog, you look like a weatherman in your green screen type setup. Bec- I'm not gonna pull up the Trello just yet. I will in a moment though. I'm gonna shrink this down and pull it up. Ba ba ba.
Whenever you're ready for the, link to be posted, I have it ready to post in
Would
both
you
chats.
actually, if you would post the Trello link in chat right now, that'd be ideal.
Okay.
That would be ideal. Thank you. Because then I can open it up too. Diaz killed me so many times opening doors, you guys. So at first I read that and I was like, no, we're not getting rid of that. And then and then he said that and I was like, we're getting rid of it. So let's go through this. Would it be possible to access your store from the tablet too? That's something we've talked about, but also we don't want the tablet to become too cluttered. It's not off the table. It's just something that we have to figure out how we would do without making the tablet really messy. You know what I mean? Can we take away? Oh, we already did that one. This one was so funny to me. When can we hope to see more accessibility features, in particular disabling the head bobbing? So that's something that we know a lot of people want. And it's something that we whoa, camera, my camera just gave out on me. Hello. Hold. Hold. I might just do this without a camera, honestly. I don't really want my camera on anyway. I wasn't gonna have my camera on today, you guys.
I love that
I
Listo
hold
always has that photo ready. Just always.
I'm not viewing that chat right now, so I can't see it. Oh my god, it's doing the thing. Miranda, it's doing the thing.
What?
It's just shaking back and forth, my camera.
Your camera loves
Did
you.
the thing. No, no, no. It did the guys. So fun fact about uh me is I'm pretty sure my house is a little haunted, and sometimes my camera does this thing where it just shakes back and forth aggressively. I don't know what causes it, and it terrifies me. But oh god, it did it. Oh my god, I'm so scared right now. I might just turn it off. I'm turning it off. Nope, nope. That's a lot of nope from me, dog. Anyway, unplugged. I'm not humoring that. That was scary. That was so scary. No. Anyway, chat. So sorry. Um, okay, hold. Sorry, I lost where I was. Accessibility features. The head bobbing is something that we know a lot of people want us to take care of and get rid of, and it is something that we are looking at doing. It just involves um a lot of animation adjustments that we're not prepared to do at this time because it takes a lot of time that would take away from other things that we want to be doing, like pet interactions or custom difficulties, progression, things like that. Could we also get ghosts with motives instead of types? This guy wants like clue. That's something we'd have to. This would, off the top of my head, this seems like something that would be a more like clue and murder mystery style. Um, I'm not sure how we would go through implementing that. As the game grows in scope, the community grows larger. Do you have plans to establish a studio or otherwise grow the dev team? So the studio is Vectora Games. Um, as far as growing the dev team, probably not. If I had to give an honest guess, I can't say for sure. However, I think that for right now, we haven't really had to think about that. What are your long-term plans for monetization? If this is referring to like microtransactions, we do not plan on ever implementing microtransactions. It's going to be strictly just, purchasing the game and console launch is going to be big. Do you have a roadmap for exiting early access or official releasing? We have a roadmap that lays out what we'd like to do for the rest of the year leading up to console launch. We do not have a roadmap for post console launch. We'll come back to this here in a minute. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Look at that. Do you plan on supporting multiplayer on? Oh, that is not a me question. I couldn't even help you with this if I tried, and this is why Devote's supposed to be here. I'll have Devote come back to this one. Can we get a maid outfit for the hunters? Come back for Halloween. I'll see what I can do. Are there plans to make ghosts feel more unique with more significant differences, such as different mechanic for a ghost? So let me think here about how I want to word this. One thing that we have to be really careful in terms of our ghosts is that we don't want it to be overwhelmingly obvious as soon as you walk in, right? So if we have a situation where you walk in the house and a poltergeist throws 50 items, you know it's a poltergeist. Or if you walked into a house and you laid 10 candles down and it blew them all out at the same time, you know it's a teriyaki. What we don't want is for you to be able to go into a no evidence game, have the ghost do a singular thing and just go, "Oh, I know what the ghost is," and leave. We want it to be an investigative style regardless of whether or not there is evidence. A lot of our ghosts do have behaviors already. I would say most of them have a special behavior they can do. Um, and Miranda or Elena, if you would actually post the link to Nina's wiki that lays out the ghosts and their behaviors, that'd be amazing. Um, so we have ghosts that are able to interact with FLX pods. Some of them can, some of them can't. Some can blow out candles, some cannot. Some can touch lights, some cannot. Um, Things like if you're near the Strigoi for too long, it'll start elevating your heart rate faster. Um, the Teriok Strigoi Phantom can't do a full manifest event. The Wraith doesn't have feet when it hunts. Like things like that are in game. It's just a matter of learning those behaviors. And the new ghosts coming in are no exception to that. They will also have behaviors implemented with them as well. Is the option of decorating the vehicles coming soon? There is vehicle customization. I'm not sure what you mean in terms of decorating. If you go into your tablet and click vehicles, you are able to change like the paint job on your vehicle as well as unlock larger vehicles. So at this point, if you want to have, if you're looking to ask any questions, I think we touched base on everything I wanted to touch base on right away. So if you have any questions, you can drop them over in chat and I will do my best to answer them without D here, which is like terrifying. That's fine. What is happening to cleanse? Okay, so after the progression, or no, I'm sorry, not progression. After this coming update with custom difficulties, that's going to go hand in hand with an identify rework. So identify is going to change in the sense that right now, the only main difference between the different difficulties is basically like how soon you're getting the evidence. And it's going to change to whether or not the ghost is giving false evidence as well as what your heartbeat is starting at. So once that's done, we want to move on over to cleanse. Cleanse at its core is going to stay the same. So it's still going to be identifying ghosts via the characteristics that they're leaving behind and cleansing them from the location. Things we want to change are sort of how the artifacts are going to behave. So if you were around for Christmas and you were here for the Hans Trap event, um, you know that the effigies allowed the ghost to know where you were. So for our Christmas event, Hans Trap had his little scarecrow effigies, and if you were near them, he knew where you were. Oh my God, D, can you please hear now? Nothing. Awesome. All right. So we want our artifacts to kind of behave in a similar way where the ghost is, this is an idea we've tossed around, where the ghost is behaving similar to how it was with the effigies. To add that extra bit of like scare, it's a scare factor, it is. The effigies were amazing, we love the effigies. So, we wanna be doing that as well as when you're done with the whole cleanse right now, we know it's, like, mundane, right? Like, you finish it, nothing crazy happens. We wanna make sure that when you finish the cleanse, it feels like you finished a cleanse. We don't want it to just go eerily silent and nothing happens. We want it to be that something happens. Is D's mic just muted? Imagine. Could you imagine? Are you currently accepting new content creators? Recently applied and aware that the app is public, but yes. So we are always accepting new content creators. To apply, you're going to go over to the content creator application and I will be going through them again likely at the end of this month. Typically, I go through them on the first of every month or every other week if I have a larger influx of applications. Right now, we don't have too many applications, so I will be waiting And then at the end of every month, we also, because we do like a review of our content creators. So once you get approved for content creator, we do keep track of your viewing. We do keep track of your hours streamed and things like that. So we want to make sure that we're waiting for a time that we have the time to do that. Are the locations in the game that are out or will be coming out inspired by any real locations? Not like copy and paste. Yes, absolutely. So if you have played the orphanage, St. Joseph's Orphanage is actually based off of a real location called St. Joseph's Orphanage in the UK. And when Devo was designing the map, so he designs most of the maps from absolute scratch. So this was one of those maps. Um, when he was designing it, he was doing it with side-by-side photos of St. Joseph's Orphanage from the, exterior and also looking up things like, orphanage, interiors for that time. If you head over to, Twitch at some point, probably at the end, I'll pull up some photos that he was using for reference, and you'll see just how, similar it is. Can we add C vote to the stage, please?
She's gotta raise her hand. I have not been able to accept it yet. I only seen when I've been scrolling back just to make sure I didn't miss it, but
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Ba, ba, ba. So I'm trying to catch up to where I just was. Okay, here we go. What will we be seeing the return? Will we be seeing the return of Halloween costumes and see more full costumes like Halloween and Christmas in the future? As I was hoping for a bunny outfit in Easter and gutted, and it gutted a lot of people not to have one. So yes, for Halloween, we do plan on having more costumes and cosmetics like that. I think this past Easter was that I don't want to call it like the first Easter event we did, right? Because we did do a small one last year, but last year's Easter event was a month after we released an early access, and it was literally that like the artifacts were eggs and you could earn a trophy and that was it. Like it wasn't anything crazy like this year. So um to answer your question, like yes, we do plan on doing those things, but this year for Easter we did not do like a full costume, but we did give different cosmetics. Would it be similar to like Ghost Exile where it plays a song that's almost like a snow? No. So we steer clear of doing things that other games have already done. So if the sentence starts with, would it be similar to blank? The answer is no. How often do you host these Q&As? We try to do this at least every other month. I think we've been pretty successful with doing that, if not every month. Depending on how many different updates we have coming out, we like to try to do this at least, every other month. We're always in the Discord though, so if you guys do have questions that you're like, "Man, I really need like a developer or a moderator to respond to this," you can just comment over in Discord and we typically respond. This is just a really good way for us to get like real-time feedback and answer questions in real time. Oh, we are always watching the CCs. Oh, what's so funny is yesterday, me and Dee were lurking over in Brock Florida Man's stream while he was talking about how the devs always hang out in streams, and he had no idea we were there. It was hysterical. Okay, so let's see. I loved the Easter and Christmas events. The eggs and effigies were amazing. I agree. Hang on, let's see. Is C D right now? Nothing. There's not allowed to speak. Just is what it is. That's okay. In addition to the changes, oh my goodness, dyslexia. In addition to the changes to how cleanse will feel when ending, will there be any gameplay changes to the cleansing process? Um, we don't have things set in stone yet. We have an idea of what we want to do, and we've been talking about like what it would take to implement those things. As far as gameplay changes, you're still gonna be looking for the characteristics. You're still gonna be cleansing the ghost. Again, we want the ending of it to feel like you've actually successfully done something and not just been like, okay, the ghost is gone. Um, so in a way, yes. We've also discussed right now. It'll say ghost type unknown when you get back to the HQ. We've discussed the possibility of making it so the ghost can choose a random ghost to behave like. So, like, your cleansed ghost could potentially behave like a identify ghost. And then maybe have like an optional objective at the end of correctly figuring out which ghost that is. Again, that's just something we've tossed around. It's not something we've decided on, but it is something that we've considered. I love I love clicky clacking on the keyboard. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Oh wait, I just heard C's microphone. Y'all, I'm starting to think that their mic's not even broken. They just didn't want to have to talk. That's what this is.
He
Yeah,
was like,
so
"Mm,
can you hear
okay."
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sheeno, be
Yeah,
nice
so
to Henry.
I'm using C's setup because mine doesn't work. She had to rejoin like several times for it to connect finally, or to be able to hear. So I'm using her setup
Well,
right now.
could you answer the question about whether or not we're going to be supporting Linux? I don't even know what it is.
I don't know when we'll natively support Linux. We do have some players that do play on it. Of course, they use the emulator to emulate Windows. I'm sure at some point we will, but that'll be closer to when we do the console port, the multi-platform support, before we do support Linux or Mac or anything like that.
Sheeno's trying to fight a child, imagine. I feel like having to identify a ghost and cleanse for all objective defeats the point of separating two. Right, right. So it wouldn't be that you have to identify the ghost. And that's something that we're trying to discuss. It because what we're thinking of, and this is just again potential things we've talked about. One of the ideas that we've had is just that the ghost can behave like a random identify ghost. So if you do know your identify ghost and you feel like identifying it throughout your cleanse, you can, but you don't have to, type of thing. Just for like extra XP. Again, not something we've said that we're going to do. It's just something like an idea we bounced around back and forth. But it would still, at its core, keep cleanse and identify very separate. Is modding allowed? Not yet. And if it's something that we allow to happen, it wouldn't be until closer to console release because console can't accept mods the same way like a PC can. And we do want to do cross-platform. Does this game issue Steam game bans? If so, for what? There you go, David. That's you.
Yeah, so we do issue Steam game bans if you are actively disrupting other players in the community. So, for example, just a few weeks ago, we had someone that was going around other people's lobbies with hacks, and we got a lot of reports in it from the Discord. So situations like that, yeah, you can expect to receive a Steam game ban. It does not prevent you from playing the game. It does prevent you from playing multiplayer in the game, though.
Okay, any other questions that I have missed? So kind of you to join at the very end,
Yeah.
D.
What was there anything that I needed to answer while I was trying to figure out this Discord jank?
I think that these questions that are coming in are mostly you questions. In terms of modding, are PC players able to use reshade to change the post processing, or will that also get you in trouble?
No, that will not get you in trouble.
When it comes to cleansing, do you have any plans on expanding upon it, such as like performing an actual ritual to cleanse the space, not just removing its artifacts? Go on, D. This is you. I've been talking this whole time. It's you problem now.
So we don't anticipate that we're going to make the end of cleanse too much different. We're just going to make it feel like you actually did something. So I don't anticipate you'll be doing any sort of rituals. However, that's not out of the question for future improvements to the game mode or a separate game mode entirely. But for right now, cleanse is going to behave similarly to it like it currently does, but it's just going to feel more rewarding, I guess, when you get all the artifacts. Right
Or are
now
you
when
going to
you
add more ghosts? Sorry.
yeah, that's a you question, right? Because you design the ghosts.
Yeah, but you were talking, so and I interrupted and I felt bad.
I was just about to say that, in cleanse right now, you pick up all the artifacts. There's no real like feedback from the game saying that you actually, you did something, right? So the ghost is just gone. We're just trying to make that end feel more rewarding, like you did something.
Okay, so to answer the are you adding more ghosts? We have 7 ghosts on the way. You can ask our content creators about those ghosts, what their names are, things like that. They have access to it. And I think it's a good way for you to interact with some of our creators. So I'm not going to tell you what the ghosts are. Just know that our content creators can tell you. Um, Underglow on the vehicles. Brock, go listen. Go away. Could we have an option in the custom lobbies to have eggs slash effigies to be added when we want them, anytime, not just during events? D.
That's something that we have been kind of discussing, having kind of events be almost toggleable. It's not out of the question. It's just not in the immediate plans right now. If it's, if it's something that the community wants, then you can definitely expect it.
Um, I forget, chat. Did they already mention what the idea for the third game mode is going to be?
Yeah, we're
D.
not releasing too much information on Survive the Night yet. We've given a little bit of hints at every stage meeting. Uh, for example, there will be no cell phone for Survive the Night, and there will be a full camcorder with a display for Survive the Night. So we've dropped a little bit of information about it, but not necessarily too much about what the game mode is going to be. But you can expect there's going to be surviving, and it's going to take place at night.
Nice. Okay. Um, does multiplayer work right now with Proton on Linux? I need to know this before buying the game. I wasn't asking about native support. If it works, it works. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah, it should. I think we've had some people use Proton with Linux, and I don't think they've had issues playing multiplayer.
Will we get cursed items because waiting for a hunt and identify is boring? So, do you care if I answer this? Can I tell them
Yeah,
what
go
we
ahead.
talked about?
Go ahead.
Can I tell them?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, this is exciting. This isn't something we've actually talked about yet. We want to steer clear. We've said this before. We want to steer clear from anything other games do, and we want to make sure that what we do implement is unique to the other side. So we don't want to do cursed items because several games in the genre use cursed items. Something we've been discussing is we know that the community repeatedly asks us for different rituals to add in the game. One of the things we're considering is actually doing a map based ritual that will make sense for that map to force the ghost to start hunting. So things like in Ravenwood, and this is not, I'm not saying this is exactly what it would be, but like for reference, like an example, in Ravenwood, for example, right? Placing candles in a certain like area since it's like a birthday party, or just like something along those lines that would force the ghost to hunt, and give you guys that sense of like ritual that you guys have been asking about. If we went that route with it, each map would have their own specific way to start the hunt, and we think that's like a fun thing for you guys. We've never gotten to talk about that. That's so exciting. Thanks for
Yeah, it's the
asking
first
that.
time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Hazu. Wizard, don't kick the baby. Could we have? Oh, we already read that one.
Here we
Bye,
go.
sleepy boy.
We're gonna get like a map layout of the maps, like so we can know the layouts of the maps before we hunt and cleanse on. Yeah. So inside the game, I think eventually we'll add sort of like a blueprint type map. It won't be detailed like some of the other games in the genre. We try to keep it somewhat realistic. You're not going to be like in real life if you go to someone's house, or you're not going to have like a 3D like satellite image of the interior of their house. So you may expect like some blueprint style map layouts that you can see in like the vehicles and stuff like that. However, here in the Discord, there will be full like map layouts. We have, I think, Ravenwood and Asylum and the cemetery right now, and we expand on that as we design them.
Sammy asked, can we decorate HQ with save photos or put on phone/laptops? That's something that we've discussed and it's not off the table. Um, I think D would be able to elaborate on that
Yeah,
more. I think the only
yeah,
problem with that is like inappropriate photos being placed.
yeah. So anything that you bring into the game from your computer, if we do add that, it's going to be private to you. So like, obviously if you have a TV on the wall and you upload a custom photo from your computer, if we do add that, it's going to be only visible to you as the player because we just want to steer clear of any sort of copyright infringement, people uploading stuff that they shouldn't be. We want to keep it friendly and safe for everybody. Yeah,
When
Can I
will
so
add? I
Abby
think
make
they
her appearance in
in photos.
Orphanage? What,
more
Lena?
in-game photos we take. Yeah, so Scott's Queen, right now you can currently save the photos that you take during the contract, and the idea behind that is as we expand the system, you'll be able to actually display those in various places in your HQ, like a scrolling like slideshow on your TVs, for example.
Foamster said, when will Abby make her appearance in the orphanage? Do you want me to answer or do you want
Uh,
to answer?
soon. Soon. So yeah, Abby is going to be the first ghost to appear with another ghost on the same location. Not necessarily that you'll get both ghosts at the same time, but when you play the orphanage, you may get Abby one game, and the next you may get Henry. And this is going to be as we develop the game, we intend to add different ghosts to all the maps, so you won't just get the one ghost like it currently is. We're trying to do as much as we can with the resources that we have and the small team that we have, which is 2 people.
Us. This is team. Will you in the future hire more people? We've been asked that a lot, Devo. You should answer that.
Currently, I mean, right now, no. In the future, depending on the needs of the game, we may, but we will always be directly involved with the development of the game. We're never going to hand it off to somebody else to design it or develop it. Like it's going to be us.
2 dudes in a basement. Can we make it? Can we wait to make it quicker to wake up after you die? Sometimes when the ghost starts a hunt, it takes a while to get up and you're dead. Yeah, get wrecked, Devo.
Hold on a second. I was reading a question. What was the question that you just asked? I was reading someone
I
else about
think
Linux.
you're skipping ahead. I'm still over at 4:34 p.m.
Okay.
Can we find a way to make it quicker to wake up after you die? As sometimes when the ghost starts to hunt, it takes a while to wake up and you're dead again. Is that can get annoying and ruin the gameplay.
Yeah, we may speed up the time that you get up. Like currently with the sleepy hangman card, it's the same animation that you play when you get up, but it's at a rapid speed. We may increase the speed at which you get up when you're dead. The ghost cannot target you during the animation, only after the animation has completed and you take full control of your character. So, and that might be inconvenient at certain times, depending on the timing of things. We may add like a grace period of a couple seconds after the animation is complete to alleviate this. So, we're looking into solutions for that.
Just scrolling through. I'm not a game developer, but what's actually stopping you from just building the executables for Linux since this is Unreal Engine 5?
Okay. So the reason why it's not as easy as just packaging for a certain operating system. There's some systems in the game that need to be changed for Linux OS, and that's also the reason why we can't just directly port to console immediately. So everything has different file structures, and we do use Windows APIs for a lot of things in the game. And so getting those switched over for other operating systems is something that we need to do before we can just package it for those.
Can the ghost changing location be a toggle? Because I really like that I know what ghost model I am visiting. I don't quote me on this because that's not my realm. I personally would veto that just because I don't think it would make sense to have like Gary in like the orphanage or like cemetery. And I think that a lot of what we have going for us is our focus on immersion and our focus on making sure that every map not only feels unique but makes sense. And in my opinion, I think that would ruin that for like the gameplay. And Devo, you're free to correct me on that.
Yeah, as we, like I said before, as we expand the amount of ghosts per location. They're gonna be tied to the location still. So you're not gonna get Abby on Ravenwood. Um, you know, it will always be lore based to that location. Will there be a toggle you can change that? I do not anticipate there will be.
I'm sorry, Twitch is popping off right now. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Is there a two dudes in a basement merch? I've been saying I want to screen grab that Reddit comment and just put that exact comment on a sweater and have that be the merch. I think it is the funniest thing anyone has ever said. And it was like a backhanded compliment is what it was, and I think that was so funny. I would love two dudes in a basement merch. It's so good. Scrolling down, scrolling down. I know you guys plan to make some special events like seasons, right? So is there an idea to maybe expand upon all the available base locations to make them a playable map? Maybe a special event called attachments or whatnot, where they follow you back to your base and you gotta cleanse them from your home base. That would be really cool. Do you vote?
I mean that's an interesting idea. Maybe maybe some point in the future we can look at something like that. Currently, it's not. Currently it's not something planned at all.
I will say with don't ask me what I'm eating list though. I'm eating my fucking chocolates. They're gone now though. They're all gone. I would like to comment on that. So with our events that we do and like all of our holiday events, one of the ways that I think we've really managed to get our community so friendly with each other and so like helpful is that we force you guys to interact a lot and we force you guys to rely on each other in game a lot during these events. And that's something that I think is going to continue on for every event that we ever do. So, if you're new here, a really good example of that is for our Halloween event. We we made everyone go trick or treating. So, players were able to decorate their bases using their Halloween event items. So, things like your jack o' lanterns and a lot of people made mazes, fun stuff like that. And we gave everyone candy buckets. So they would hide their candy buckets or put them out front, and everyone had to actually go trick or treating to other lobbies and interact with people. Um, During that time, we had a ton of active players who thought this was like one of the coolest things. So then from there on, any event that we did, we made sure to make it so that players had to interact with each other. So we did for Christmas, everyone got an elf on the shelf. And so they were able to hide that in their HQ and decorate their HQs, and everyone had to go interact with the elves and get presents, and it was just a lot of fun. For Easter, we did something very similar where just exclusively for the HQ, everyone got 3 eggs to hide in their HQs, and that gave you different game currency. So while we do stuff in game maps for like the Hans effigies or the East or the candy buckets or the Easter eggs in the locations, we also already do event stuff in the HQ, and I do think that that's what makes our community like extremely friendly with each other is that we force you guys to interact a lot. And because of that, nobody wants to hate on anyone. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. When do I get a panda? Never.
Fire me now.
I can't. I really need you here.
So a little bit down
What
there.
will the
Can there
new
be?
HQ be? Oop,
Oh, is have we said anything about a new HQ?
nope. Have not. He's
Cool.
manifesting it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So we haven't announced any new HQ coming. So good luck trying to pry that out of us right now.
All right, and then you were
Can
gonna
there
read one down
can
bottom.
yeah, can there be a toggle to have crosshairs? I have a hard time turning light switches on and off. Yes. So I plan on adding a crosshairs option that will be disabled by default.
Someone just asked about the lore stuff. There is already in the Discord an entire lore section. There's also on our TikTok we touch base on a lot of the lore that's not like right in your face. So every map has lore, you got to know where to look for it. And a lot of our maps are even connected. So if you pay attention to Abaddon West, you'll realize that that connects both to Abaddon East, the orphanage, and like it connects Abigail and Henry, and one of the new maps that we have coming out as well is connected to that. There's lore everywhere. Can there be a toggle to have crosshairs? I have a
Yeah.
hard time turning the light switches on and off.
All right, yeah, I already answered that. Yes, there will be a
Oh,
toggleable setting.
sorry. So since the game is working currently on Linux, when you'll have controller support, you'll have Steam Deck support coming with that as a consequence, right?
Yes, currently you can play the game on the Steam Deck. We have had a few players, I believe, play on it pretty frequently. I don't know how stable it is. We don't like natively support it, but yes, with controller support, you'll have Steam Deck and the ROG Ally and all those handheld devices supported like natively.
Someone said, one of the things I noticed, tried the demo, loved it, bought the game, and now lost my face piercing options. Wrong game. We don't have that. Wrong. Wrong game. We've never had piercings. Don't do it. Wrong. Fog has the best avatars. I do. That's a fact. You were taking screenshots during my TikTok. That's crazy. Hate it here. No, we never had face piercings options. No, 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 we did not. Nope. What do you think of adding unlockable different base camps? How it is the starting location slash home of the player even called? I'm new. Like the what do you think of? Oh, so you're new here. Hello. Hi, welcome to the other side. This person says, what do you think of adding unlockable bases? We already have 5 bases that you can choose from. 4? 5? How many?
Let's see.
1,
We got the
2,
basement,
3,
storage
4,
unit,
5.
warehouse. Yeah, 5. Yep.
5. So we currently have 5 bases that you can unlock using in-game money that you earn from your contracts. We have a basement, we have a storage unit, like a loft, like storage compartment thing. We have like a whole warehouse, we have an art gallery and a winter lodge. To find those, you're going to open your tablet in your HQ. So you're going to click tab. You're going to click home base and up top you'll see bases. You'll click that and that'll show you all of the different base locations that you're able to unlock in game. Okay, there's a lot. Is 6 players the max, or would you consider a larger amount for a larger map? Sorry if I missed this was asked. We've discussed more than 6 players, and at one point, D was looking at really huge vehicles and was like, "Why stop there?" I don't know how serious he is. So D, that's
Yeah.
all you.
Okay, so in the future, some future events, we may mess around with the idea of bringing in players beyond that 6. So you may see like during an event where we have going into contracts like 10 players. I don't think that we'll have it just a permanent feature, just because it's quite demanding to have more than 6 players. Like we're already kind of pushing it with what is all the stuff going on. So you know, it's one of those things like you may see it, you may not.
All right, I'm gonna kind of bulk answer some of these questions about
Oh, you
the
skipped one
females
question
in
here.
general. What did I skip? I didn't skip
Uh,
anything.
yeah, yeah. So I wonder if we'll be able to light normal candles without having to place it first while holding the item. Yes. So as long as you have a lighter in your inventory
All right, I
and have a
skipped one.
candle in your hand, I will make it so that you can light candles in your hand. Yes.
So Elena asked, when do I get long curly hair as a female? And then someone else also asked, when they're gonna get more female cosmetics in general. And to answer your question, very soon. So, yeah, how do I want to word this? We have a lot that we want to do in terms of cosmetics, but we also have a lot that we want to do in terms of progression based cosmetics and items. So while we don't intend on making it so that you have to purchase every single thing for, I don't know, a mere $10,000, we do want to make it so it's something you have to earn. There will be more hair, there will be more clothing, there will be more of a lot of things. We're just figuring how we want it all implemented because as we've said before, this is early access, and when we say early access, we mean like a genuine early access game. We've only been in early access for about a year now, and in that time, we've made a lot of progress and a lot of changes that we're very proud of. Yes, short story long, yes, you'll have everything you want. Will we get dynamic weather outside, or will it always be set based on the map? Not sure if this has already been asked. Peggy, we have dynamic weather already. I'm new and looking at the prices of bases has me worried. You will earn that money a lot faster than you think. A lot faster, especially if you start playing cleanse. Cleanse mode is where the money is at. You can get, oh my gosh, what is it like? If you do the large maps on cleanse, you can get like $4,000 on expert per game. It's outrageous. Cleanse mode is where the money is. And we
Yeah.
also during events as well allow you to transfer your extra event currency for money.
Yeah, you'll get money faster than you think. We have some players sitting on over $1 million.
True. This may have already been answered. D, this is you question, but I just joined late due to being at work. What are the future ideas for the vehicle modifications?
So right off the bat, the probably some of the first vehicle modifications you'll get is being able to upgrade your affixer and affixer charger. So currently, everyone knows that your affixer you start with, it's kind of part of your vehicle package. One thing I want to do is make it so you can have a more efficient affixer that scans faster, maybe uses less battery. Gives you a little bit more details on it, and the charger, of course, will be more efficient or maybe less efficient depending on how we structure it. As other upgrades would be like being able to see team vitals, different types of information displayed, and those would be things that you would just upgrade, kind of like the CCTV is standard on all vehicles. Eventually, I want to get to the point where you have a vehicle and you actually have to add that customization onto it. It wouldn't be like an outrageous price or anything, but it would be something that you would like, a feature that you would upgrade to it.
So I'm going to skip through some of these questions that we've answered a few times here. If you want those answered, you can head over to Twitch, and I do have all of this recorded over there. So if you missed the first half of this, you can go back and watch. But we have a lot that we have to go through, and answering the same questions over and over is going to make us here all day. So can we have a mansion map like with wood paneling and pretty tile? It could be stone manor, maybe even a hako or hazu. Go away. Will we eventually be able to toggle equipment on and off without it being in our hand?
No. So I don't think that makes. I mean, honestly, like Shino, how would you just have like a turn off all button or something? Is that what you're asking? How would you kind of turn it off without like putting it in your hand?
Sounds like a skill issue, Shino.
You just got to be
Just
more
saying.
wary of the equipment you have on, and that comes down to like the UI. So in the bottom right of your screen, you can see like the equipment that's on your belt. There's no indication that the equipment is on. There's something I want to add to the UI that says, "Hey, this equipment's on right now," so you know immediately without having to bring it into your hands. It's kind of like one of those things that it's a quality of life feature that I want to add.
Skipping down a little bit, are there any pieces of equipment ideas you guys can share with us now? So if you go over to the Trello, we have things like an early hunt detector. We also have a wireless camcorder we want to implement. Down the line, we do plan on having a pretty advanced like SLS camera. So if you're unsure of what that is, think of like your dots projector, but it's got the little stick man. If you guys have ever seen like Ghost Hunters, something like that. Because again, we want to steer clear of like things every other game is doing. Obviously, things like that take time because Devo does do all of that like by hand from scratch. So even things like the affixer, he literally, I mean, he made them. He designed those. He made it work how it works, and he does that with all of the equipment. So yes, there's a lot of equipment that we want to throw in the game. They just take a little bit of time. Oh, let's see. Sometimes the ghosts move chairs and other objects around the map which we can't interact. Will we be able to interact with those? I get stuck with the chairs, for example. D.
So what do you okay, so, like, interacting with being able to, like, push it back into the table, for example, that's we've not heard of that before, but, now that I'm thinking about
I
it, that
like
would
that
actually
idea.
be a kind of a cool idea. So, because, like, you're looping around a table, for example, or you're looping around the kitchen island in Ravenwood, and the ghost pulls the chair out, that can be kind of inconvenient, so being able to push that chair back in might be a good idea to add.
Yeah, I
That's
like that.
that's perfect.
And this is why we hold these meetings. Any
Write
game
that
that makes
down.
cosmetic like a jacket cost $10,000 has lost their mind. Skipping me when I ask when I can jump is crazy work. Lena, You can already jump in game, you just have to want it. You have to want it so bad. Day 3 of Blaming Fog for making you want to get the lounge, blah, blah, blah. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Could you expand on how the prestige system will work, Devote?
It'll work kind of similar to any real game that has a prestige system, whether it's Call of Duty or even, like Phasmophobia. So when you get to a certain level, you'll be prompted with the option of prestiging. When you do prestige, you won't lose any of the cosmetics that you've earned or any of the like customization. Your base is not going to just reset. Your HQ is going to stay the same, but you will obviously your level will reset, and uh, you'll have to unlock everything that needs to be unlocked again.
And one thing that I do want to throw in to what you were just saying with the prestige system, we have already, we've shown this before. We do have everything that we want to have laid out for prestige. We do have. So we already have the titles that we want. We have what levels we want them to happen at. We have what Steam achievements we want. We're very organized in the sense that months and months before we actually do something, we make sure that like we know exactly what we want to do. So when it's time to do it, it's not like, okay, let's start thinking about this now. That having been said, one of the things that a lot of players were asking about was, well, I'm level 2,223, Nina. Um, will I retain my overall level? So you will still see your legacy level or like your overall player level even after you prestige. It'll show you that as well as your prestige level. Um, number one. Number two, when it's time to prestige, if you are over level 300, you will have the option to prestige 3 times right off the rip. This is because obviously, for every like 100 levels, we want you to be able to prestige. So this was like a good way to make sure that you'd be able to prestige a couple of times without making it so right off the rip, you're already, 10th prestige, 20th prestige, however many prestige we decide to go. Um, so like the levels you're getting right now are not for no reason. You'll still have your legacy level available after you prestige. Can we get floodlight for HQ so we can showcase our vehicles? Yeah,
Yes.
we can do that. Like if my loadout's full, but the Geiger is on the floor pinging off, I could just flick it without having to drop an item. So I think what Shino's saying is like if he has 4 items in his hand, but his Geiger counter is sitting on the floor, could he look at his Geiger counter on the floor and just click it to turn it off?
Yeah, that's something I want to add. Yes. So the
Perfect.
ability to interact with equipment that's on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jay, give us a minute and we'll get back to that. Jay's asking about the rabbit, but just give me a minute. What do you get by prestiging? You're going to be earning titles, cosmetics, and I think we discussed plaques as well. Like stuff you can decorate your HQ with for prestiging that people would look at and recognize you prestige, plaques, trophies, things like that. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. What's stopping me from Oh, this is a good question. What's stopping me from buying a lot of expensive furniture, prestige, and then selling the furniture so I can buy my stuff off the rip? Because what's stopping you is Devote. Go on, Devote. We've already talked about this.
Wait a second. What's the question? I was reading this other one right
Uh,
here. What's
what's
up?
what's stopping players from just purchasing a bunch of items and then selling them after the fact when they prestige to get their money back?
I mean, you're gonna lose your items. Are you talking about like furniture? If you're talking about
Furniture,
furniture, yeah. So if you're talking about furniture,
no resale
anything you,
value.
yeah. So when you we already thought about this. Anything that you have purchased during that prestige or like even if you haven't prestiged yet, and then you prestige that the sell price on those items is basically nothing. So there's no benefit to doing that.
Do we still get our level 1000 plaque? Yes. We still plan on having that be a thing. Isn't Nina like level 5000 plus? No, she's about level 3000-ish almost, give or take. Another question regarding interacting with the environment. Would we also be able to pick up random objects and move them into an empty room for poltergeist investigation means? Um, We do want to add various animations and picking up stuff. What we don't want to do is have it look janky and have it look like, it's either floating in front of you or just not in your hand correctly. That being said, every item that we would allow you to pick up in the environment is going to need a different animation. So it's not as simple as being like, okay, here you go, you guys can pick this up now. It's each individual item. So if we want you to pick up a popcorn bucket or if we want you to pick up a remote, um, we have to do a specific animation for that item. So, you're talking hundreds of items for hundreds of different animations. It will happen. We plan on it. We want it. It's just one of those things that's going to take time and probably something we'll be sprinkling in over the next handful of updates that we do.
Yep.
More pet items and being able to name them, bedding, clothes, etc. We will be adding more pet items as well as I want cute little collars and sweaters for my bunny. She just punched the air, I can tell. Um Miranda, I don't know what PSA that is. Huh?
I have one for everybody. I just don't want to interrupt the important talk.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. I'm very new, so sorry if this has been asked and answered, but I know in other games they have cursed objects, which I think adds a lot to games in this genre for player freedom. And I read that you guys had some talks of adding them in a different way. Would it be possibility to make things like Ouija boards, tarot cards, crystal ball, or similar objects buyable, where I could choose to buy a Ouija board, for example, and bring it to use it? Do you vote? That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, that's
Having
not a
them
yeah,
bring it with them.
that's definitely a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not something that we've discussed retro. Like we've never really considered having it something you could buy and then bring in. I don't hate that idea. And I think we could do it in a way that would limit it to only bringing in like one item, not like, six of them. It would just be how we want to implement them. Okay, so we are at an hour into this discussion. At this time, we're going to take a couple more questions. So if we have not answered a question that you were hoping we would answer, you can ask them now and we will do our best to answer them. And then we do have a little announcement for everybody.
Can I go ahead with my PSA while that we wait?
Sure. What is it? Do I know this
Okay,
PSA?
no. It's thought in my
Okay, great.
head. You won't have a problem with it though. So thank you guys for all joining. We have hit 6,000 members in the Discord overnight. We were still at almost
Slay.
5,000 members last night. This is my friendly reminder that I know some of you are closer to the mod team, some are new faces. Please do not DM us with any of the issues. Please utilize the mod tickets because even if you DM us, we're going to direct you to that mod ticket anyway. It's very important for us to keep track of everything that's done in this Discord for the developers to know what's going on.
True, true. That's a good PSA. All right, I'm gonna speed answer some of these before we do an update. Is Cursed Item Finder item inspired from the game We Happy Few? What? No. Do I even know that game? I don't know. Painted toes for bare feet when? We've actually discussed that. That's something that we have talked about doing. I don't know exactly when we'd implement it, but it's on the table. Can the cross go back right side up if the ghost changes favorite room? No, because that's a ghost interaction. We wouldn't want to do that. And also, I think that when we do custom difficulties and the ghost does change favorite room, which it will be allowed to do after custom difficulties comes out, part of the challenge is going to be figuring out when the ghost leaves that room. Do. It would be cool if we got an RC car with a camera so we could use it to go on the location without endangering ourselves at first, but not limited to the ghost attacking. Blah, blah. Okay. So we do have CCTVs built into each map that you are able to look at from your laptop outside. And I think that would be like basically the same concept as that RC car. Alternatively, you just send in your most like expendable teammate and just watch their cell phone. And if they
Exactly.
die, they die.
Yep.
Can we
That's
get more
exactly what you do.
customization for bases? That's exactly what you do. You send Miranda in first and you go, good luck. Can we get more
Yeah.
customization for bases? We will be adding a lot more furniture when it comes time for like we're always adding more furniture, number one, but number two, we will be adding even more as we sprinkle out all of the progression updates. Planning on adding wireless sound recording equipment? Yes. For example, would the camcorder pick up sound so we can hear? Good question. Devote. Will the camcorder pick up sound so we can hear it?
So that will probably come when we do the recording system. As when it first releases, it will not. I mean, you'll hear where you're at, but it won't like pick up sound like on the CCTV. Not currently. In the future, when we do the recording, yes, it will.
Will there be a device that helps locate the ghost room from a distance? Something like a sound device would make the large maps feel less daunting for solo players. Yes. So the answer to that is yes. I was seeing if Devo was going to say anything, but he didn't say anything. That comes back to we have a lot of equipment that we want to be adding. We've toyed with a few different ideas. Again, steering clear of things that other games have done or things that are overdone, and trying to keep it something that is unique to the other side. Is going to be like the most important part. For now, um, if you are a solo player on a larger map, I recommend walking inside, opening the gate or the door or whatever. We'll say gate because I'll assume you're doing like cemetery, right? If you go inside, turn on a light, come back outside, go watch your CCTV and see where the ghost is interacting the most, because right off the rip, when the game starts, the ghost will be interacting primarily closer to its favorite room, if not in its favorite room. You'll be able to sit on your furniture in the next couple of months when we add animations and interactions. Oof, bless you, buddy.
I wanna
Okay, 1 minute.
touch I want to touch back on what Sheena was asking. Will there be a device that helps locate the ghost room from a distance, something like a sound device? So yes, there will be. Like right now, you can use motion sensors and tripwires to kind of track the ghost's location, kind of like what Fog was saying. Use the CCTV. There will not be any sort of like parabolic microphone, for example, because we want to keep the equipment as realistic as possible, and shooting parabolic microphone through the entire location through walls, solid concrete, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense from a realism standpoint. So don't expect like a sound device like that to make it into the game.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the questions there, and we're going to move on to something that we're excited to tell everyone about. So we have had a lot of questions regarding the rabbit and pets in general. So first and foremost, yes, we will be adding more pets to the game. It's not going to happen immediately. So the rabbit was put in as an Easter event from our content creators. Our content creators gave out the rabbits as a way to say thank you for everyone who did the event, participated in the event. The way the rabbit works is there's 5 different variations of it, and whatever one you get is what you get. Like that's it. You get what you get. You don't have a fit. So we do plan on adding more pets and interacting with pets, but for right now, the rabbits it's literally our test bunny. And we know that a lot of people have been asking about it. So we are so excited because I wish we had a drum roll, but we don't. Starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our tier 3 content creators will have a in-game ability, if you join their lobby, to give away another rabbit. It's 1 bunny per person. You don't get 7 bunnies. 3 p.m. our Eastern Standard Time, our tier 2 content creators will have it, and at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our tier 1 content creators will have it. So starting tomorrow, you will have the ability to get the pet rabbit. So 11 a.m. I know that. So right now we actually have 1 tier 3 right now. So we have, if you're European time over there in the UK, I know Shino's going to be on around that time. 3 p.m. I think is a pretty standard time where lots of people will be on. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, nice time for people to get to work. So if you are looking to get that rabbit as soon as possible, tomorrow morning you will have that opportunity. Shino, God, everyone was so excited to play. Um, 11 a.m. tomorrow, you can get it out of Shino's lobby. I think that's the first one that's going to be up. And yeah, so the way that's going to work is you're going to watch his stream or watch whatever content creator stream when they're live. And when they open up their lobby, it'll say content creator right in the lobby board. You're going to join them, interact with the object. We haven't decided what the object is yet, I don't think. Interact with their exclusive object, and you will be given your rabbit. Rabbits are not tradable. If you get a black and white rabbit, but you wanted the tan rabbit, too bad. Love your rabbit, okay? It's the rule. And yeah, so that's the exciting news. Black and white rabbits are the best, 100%. Oreos, my pride and joy. And yeah, so that's where we're gonna leave this today. Again, thank you guys for everything. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. If you're over here in America, it is Mother's Day. Around the world, it's just a Sunday, but today here it is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, guys. And we will host another meeting probably in about a month and a half as we start rolling out more updates. And we just want to thank you guys again for being here, for supporting us and being patient with us as we navigate our new player count and try to keep up with like the Discord and everything. It's been a really exciting weekend as well as, you know, a challenging weekend, but it's been so exciting and so fun to interact with you guys. Stokies, you can find if you guys are looking to rewatch this whole meeting, you can find it over on Twitch. I'll post my Twitch link in the comments, or someone will. It will be saved over in the VODs over there. And yeah, so you'll be able to rewatch the whole thing and listen to all the stuff. Thank you, Lena. With that, I am out of here. Have a great rest of your night. Have fun playing. If you have not already left a review on Steam, I cannot stress enough how helpful it is to have Steam reviews. The first thing someone does when they decide if they're going to get a game or not is check out that review. An honest review really does mean like a lot, and it makes the world go round. Can you get a bunny if you already have one? No, they don't double dip in them bunnies. You can't double dip on bunnies. No way, Jose. And that's it, guys. I'm hopping on out of here because I'm going to go take my kiddos out to dinner for Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, I treat them to dinner.
Bye,
You just want
everyone.
mini bagels? Nice. Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
rest of your night.